Hello, hello, ladies. Good evening and happy Thursday. Happy weekend. Here we go. Sally, Sanette, Shahinez, Noher, Abir, Karen.
Hi,
How's it?
Dana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Amazing.
Following the instructions on being clean.
Good,
Alhamdulillah.
good, good. Taking care of
Staying clean.
taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Amazing. Happy first of the month. Yes, right? It was a long January. It was a long January. Here we are, February already, and look at where you're at. Second month of this year already. Look at where you look at everything you've done. Finished your first 9-day deep detox, getting over your symptoms, getting over your coffee and bread and cheese and sugar addictions. And it's February 1st. I mean, imagine where you're going to be at the end of the year. So speaking of end, this is the last class of our full 21 days. We have 5 classes left, 2 instructional classes, 2 Q&A classes, and 1 celebration class at the very end. Today is our last, like part of the curriculum, let's put it that way. And it's about essential oils. I love, love, love essential oils. And I think maybe Karen here has some expertise in essential oils. And some of you have joined the group that Karen has so generously shared with us of the ladies here in Cairo who can provide you with one of the best essential oils that I've come across internationally, which is the doTERRA. There's not much to say about essential oils. They are basically the botanical extractions, right? They are the pure liquid taken from flowers, taken from plants. And because of that, they are literally the most potent botanical that you can use. And they are not, unlike the supplements and the superfoods and the adaptogens, these are not, essential oils are not something you use to fill in a gap. They're not something you use because you're deficient in something. Think of essential oils sort of as your remedies, as your natural medicine. So instead of like how we've been using the lavender and the peppermint, we've been using it like instead of Tylenol, Panadol, instead of pain relievers, you're going to use these natural sources of medicine because one, your body understands them and your body can communicate with them. There's a back and forth with them. They don't cause side effects. They're not toxic, and they're incredibly effective when you have the highest quality. So essential oils are used as needed. Whereas supplements, you would have to use daily, continuously in order to see an effect. Same thing with adaptogens. But essential oils are like, oh, I have a headache, so let me grab my lavender and my peppermint. Oh, I'm getting, a hot flash, and you guys have these blends in your guide. Let me grab the hot flash blend. Or I need a bit of energy, pick me up. Let me grab the energy blend. So that's what they're for. Like you're feeling something and you want a solution or relief on the spot for some discomfort that you're feeling. That's what essential oils are for. And there's a huge, huge world of essential oils. I mean, I've only introduced you to lavender and peppermint. These two are the most basic ones that whenever anybody's getting into essential oils, they're the ones that are sort of like the ABC of essential oils. And also because you can apply them to so many different ailments, so to speak. So if you have a headache, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling sleepy, if you have a sore throat, if you're coughing, if you have a tummy ache, if you have period cramps, if you have body aches, all of those you can use lavender and or peppermint to help find relief from. So they're sort of the ones that cover so many different things without you having to get very specific. Beyond that, then I've given you the blends in your guide, which are the things that where we are as women right now, we need the most help with, and we don't want to go and take synthetic solutions for. We want to, because anything synthetic coming into your body is going to add to the toxic load that upsets the balance of your hormones. So why, when we have something that is 100% natural and works with the body, it has no side effects. So those blends make them I recommend you get, if you can get like one of those roller, I think you can get them on Amazon, those rollers, and then put the mix in there and just, you know, put a label on it and keep it there and use as needed. The ladies that Karen introduced us to, if they are able to, doTERRA makes pre-blended mixes. So they make the lavender pre-blended with coconut oil in a roller, so you can just use it right away. They make the peppermint that way. They make many different blends, right? You know, for the ones that I can remember that I've used, there's one called On Guard. There's a couple of them like to use like during, you know, like if you have a cough, if you feel like a cold coming on. One that I use with my son all the time because he will, when he goes out to eat junk, he always gets a stomach ache. We use it on his tummy. So if you go on the doTERRA site, you will see that they sell single oils that come pre-blended, and then single oils that just come in a little jar, and then you have to blend them with a carrier oil. Then they have many different blends for whatever is bothering you. So there's stress, there's if you want to just relax, if you want to focus. I think they have one for do they have one for grief? I can't remember, but like anytime you need help processing, because remember, our emotions are, you know, they're stuck in some parts of our bodies, right? And so you need help to bring these things out, to bring the emotions out and to process them. And essential oils are a wonderful way to do that. So if you decide to go deeper into it, you're going to find basically an essential oil for any ailment that you have, an essential oil that can help you overcome any ailment that you have. So, but start slow. Don't go, I mean, I remember when I first got introduced, it was about 10 years ago, and I bought all the oils. I was like, oh my God, I want this one for stress, and I want this one for sleep, and I want this one for stomach, and I want this one for, you know, the hormone, but all of them, right? You don't need all of them. It can be very exciting to go and buy all of them at once. And I would suggest you choose one of the blends that you think you need the most right now. Go and buy the oils for that, create that blend. And then lavender and peppermint, these are my go-tos. Even if I run out of everything else, I can always plug in lavender and peppermint to do the job, even of the other blends that I've run out from. All right, and that's basically all there is about essential oils. Think of them as your basic new medicine cabinet for basic ailments. All right. Karen, I would like to ask your opinion of doTERRA frankincense. Yes, I feel I need also all of them. Believe it or not, I've never used frankincense. I've used frankincense as a facial cleanser. So the brand of skin oils that I've been recommending to some of you, Living Libations, which is a Canadian company that they also make their own essential oils, and they also make beauty products, hair products, skin and hair that are only, when you look at the ingredients, there's nothing there except it's different blends of essential oils. And the one that I've been using for my face is their frankincense cleanser, which is basically the bulk of it is frankincense oil. And all I can say about that in terms of my face is it's been fantastic. I used to use a different one when I had acne. Then after I cleared my acne completely and the scars were vanishing, and that's it. Like I don't have an acne problem anymore. And then I got into the age range of, you know, more mature skin. So then I switched over to their frankincense, and that has been amazing. But beyond that, I haven't used the frankincense for anything else. Questions, ladies, about anything essential oil related, anything supplement related, anything at all about what we've been doing? It's quite expensive. Yes, it is. I think out of all the essential oils, frankincense is one of the most expensive ones. It's good for healthy liver, immune, and joint function. I've never used it that way. I'm sure it is because I trust essential oils. So I'm sure if it's something that you want to apply that way, it will work. Here's the thing, like, fortunately, when you create a really great food foundation, it's really minimal what you end up needing, whether in terms of supplements or oils. Like, it really ends up being very, very basic. So like if in terms of for example, you have the hot flashes, you know, blender. The hot flashes will decrease. So you're going to use it now, but the longer you eat this way, the more you're going to see that the hot flash, they're going to disappear. You're not going to need them. So they're also something that you just sort of use as needed, and then you don't need them anymore. So I'm just saying that, like, just be cautious when you're investing, because even the most basic ones can be quite pricey. They last a long time because you only use like one little drop every single time, but you want to be really smart about which ones you want to buy first and try first and get really, really comfortable with first before you go and buy the really, really super expensive ones that go really deep into something like healthy liver, immune, joint function, you know, when you're doing that already by detoxing, right? So this is just so that you can make smart decisions when you're purchasing, right? Understand that there's the base, there's the core, because I see people just like with supplements, right? Not doing anything with food. They're not changing anything about how they eat, but they go and buy all the supplements and they go buy all the essential oils and they go want to do all the things and all the treatments. And those are like things you do way down the line, way after you've gotten this foundation that we're doing right now, way after this has become your new normal. And then you want to elevate a little bit, or you still have some gaps. But to go and just start that way, that's like you're doing it backwards if you do it that way. Abir, what is the best place to apply essential oils, or it differs according? So pulse points. Good question. Pulse points. So here, wherever you have a pulse, here on your wrists, these are the easiest places to apply. And then, of course, if there's a specific spot on your body that's uncomfortable, right? So if you have a headache, lavender and peppermint goes here. If you don't mind getting the oil in your hair, massage it into your scalp. I always put it back of my neck. If I have a headache here, if you have a sore throat, then you put it here. You put it on your chest. If you want to use it to help you sleep at night, for example, lavender or peppermint, put it on the bottoms of your feet because it gets absorbed right through the bottom into your body. But for the hormonal blends, the energy blends, all of that, pulse points here, here, and here. Senat, can I ask about the next phase, clean eating? Can we reintroduce animal protein, grains, nuts, and the other items that were limited in the previous phase? Yes, if you're doing clean eating, the default is clean eating includes animal protein, whole grains, right? Nuts and all of that. But you don't want to introduce them all at once. You want to do, if you're going to do animal protein, then one portion of animal protein, and I would stick to the same type of animal protein so that you can gauge your body's response to it. Do that for a couple of weeks. If you want to add in nuts, a handful of raw nuts, and then see how your body reacts. I would really keep, the thing that I would keep out, because there really is very little benefit from it and it's not healing at all. The only reason we eat them, grains, is because we like them. We like the taste, we think they're filling, etc. But there's no healing benefit to grains, zero. Not rice, not beans, not lentils. They're not healing you. So if you're still struggling with symptoms, then, and you would like to add in something besides fruits and vegetables, then I would recommend you add in a little bit of animal protein before you add in the grains, because at least your body is more primed to break down animal protein than it is to break down tough grains like beans and lentils and all of that. Those things didn't really come into our food chain until recently, whereas from 100,000 years ago, animal protein was from the very beginning part of the foods that we eat. Biologically, our body can recognize it. The issue with it, like I keep saying, is that we overeat it. So if you feel like you want to bring in animal protein, one portion, you could even do one portion a day, but small portion, like, not like as much animal protein as you want. And I would prioritize that over rice and beans and even things that are like gluten-free pasta and things like that. Prioritize that over the grains. Can we mix the essential oil with the magnesium oil? I don't see why not. I've never actually tried that, but I don't see why not. Sally, go ahead.
Yes, hello Dana.
Hi,
How
Sally.
are you? I'm sorry I couldn't attend yesterday. I had a reception, and it's the first day I eat a little bit of animal protein, fish, I mean,
Yeah.
and sauté. But I had like 6 nuts because it was very tempting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Good enough, and I resisted the ice cream served, and I woke up very good actually, yani,
Good.
but
Yeah.
I was very full. I couldn't have my fruit smoothie, you know. I took the celery and then I went down and came back at after 12 to take it. I was really full. Uh,
Um, Animal protein. So fish is also an animal protein, right? So when we say animal protein, we're talking about cows, beef, lamb, chicken, turkeys, pigeons, and all types of fish. All of that goes under animal protein. Animal protein is very, very filling, and it takes the most time for your body to digest it and break it down. And it takes the most energy for your body to digest it and break it down. So it's not surprising that after an animal protein meal, you stay full for a while. That's perfectly fine. And it's a good thing you start to listen to your body now, right? If it's you had a heavy meal the night before, heavier, right, than usual, and the night before, and you wake up the next day and your body's still technically working through it, and it doesn't feel like it needs more, then you listen to your body and don't give it any more, which is exactly what you did.
I'm enjoying this very much, this freedom and this listening, you know,
Yeah.
because we always have the ideas of, you know, metabolism. We have to start, I don't know what, the diets, you know, all the things we are used to.
Yeah.
We're breaking free from it, and I'm really enjoying it. Um, but I'm not sure how can I continue now. You know, my case from last year.
Mm.
Uh, do you recommend I get back to like fish once or twice a week? And I used to do this in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, go back. Here's the thing, like I keep saying, you can't do this wrong. Even if you make a decision that you realize isn't the best one for you in a couple of weeks. So let's say, Sally, you decide you want to go and you want to add in fish a couple of times a week. Okay, so you add in the fish a couple of times a week, and then in a couple of weeks, the feeling that you have right now, that energetic feeling where you're waking up energetic and you're really in tune with your body, and your body feels light, and you're going to the bathroom normally, and you're sleeping really deeply, and you don't have any flare-ups of any kind, and you start eating fish, and then all of a sudden in like because the same way that it takes about 2 weeks to 3 weeks for the effects of a detox to really show, it'll take about 2-3 weeks for the effects to show in the other direction as well. So if that happens after 2-3 weeks, you realize, maybe that's not really working for me. So even if that happens, you haven't made a wrong decision. Everything that you're doing is an experiment, as I keep telling you. Simply dial it back, switch back, go to a few more days of just eating fruits and vegetables, see how that makes you feel, and then make another decision, reevaluate, and take it from there. In terms of flexibility, and I'm glad you brought this up, Sally, because that's really key in order for you to maintain this. Is the sustainability of this depends on flexibility. When you understand the basics, and right now you all understand the basics: fruits, vegetables, a little bit of animal protein, whole grains, they're not really healing, so let's keep them out. If we do bring them in, it's about a half a cup and not every single day. So when you start to feel yourself get a little bored or a little fidgety, or you're not sure, you know that you can switch it up. If you get bored of the celery juice, get rid of the celery juice, have, you have all those other recipes in your clean eating guide, have one of those other smoothies instead. You get bored of the smoothie, have one of those other smoothies in the guide instead, or one of the breakfast options that you have in your guide as well. You've been doing the 9 days over and over and over again, you get bored of the same vegetables, go and make a salad from the hybrid, or make a meal from the hybrid, or make a meal from the clean eating. You cannot go wrong with any of this. You will not be undoing everything that you're doing. And it's important that you have this flexibility. You want to create your own salads or your own meals right now, you know how. So start to trust yourself more that you can move out of the structure of the healing protocol, which is exactly more or less when we did the 9 days, it was just like follow this as much as you can to the, to the T so you can get the results. As long as you're eating fruits and vegetables, trust yourself and trust your body. If you go and you have one of the breakfast options instead of your smoothie one day, and you're technically in the middle of the 9-day detox, that's not going to throw you off. That's not going to ruin your result. That's not going to stop you from getting results. So open yourself up to the idea of flexibility. Open yourself up to trying, if you want to look things up on the internet, and find different recipes, whatever it's going to take for you to make this enjoyable and sustainable. What we did here is really, sometimes you have to start with a structure and like really be really disciplined in order to understand something. But once you understand it, you make it your own. And if that means waking up and deciding that, you know what, no, I had this animal protein last night, I can't have a celery right now, my body's saying I'm full, then you don't. That's how you start to build up the trust between you and your body and communicating with your body. So don't feel like everything needs to be really rigid. As long as you're not bringing in all the inflammatory foods that we took out, you're not bringing those in on a regular basis, you're not going to, sabotage your healing at all.
Okay, and for the exercise, I'm planning to implement more than walking, So I think protein would help, to add more protein the coming. No?
I haven't. No, this is just one of those things that trainers. You need. I mean, I have seen. I mean, who was it that I think? She's not here. Samar is doing she was saying she was doing more juicing. I've talked to some of you about Jason Vale. He's called the Juice Master. He was one of my first people to ever introduce me to juicing, even before I became a health coach. And the 28-day juice cleanse that I tell you I've done before, it's his. Brilliant man. And he's done a full marathon, and trained for the marathon on nothing but green juices. And many other people have as well. And you hear lots of athletes who are vegan, like they choose to be vegan and they're like built and muscular and everything. So it can work both ways, apparently, right? So don't feel like you have to. Only have it because you want to. You want to have your animal protein, then have it because you enjoy it. You feel like it's not something you want to go without, given that you're staying healthy by having it. But these things like you can't build muscle without protein, you can't be athletic. I mean, there's 1,000,001 people who are proving that wrong every single day, completely. So everybody is a little bit different, right? It might be easier for one person to do that than somebody else, of course, granted, but give yourself the chance to experiment and see which one are you. If you want your animal protein, then by all means incorporate it and go work out. If you don't want your animal protein, then don't, and continue to work out. It's not going to stop you. Because you're filling your body with the energy, and that's all you need to go work out is energy. And then also working out on its own gives you energy. So even if you weren't even detoxing or doing this program, getting out of, and you're somebody who doesn't work out, getting your body into the practice of movement creates that momentum of movement. The more you don't move, the more you stay not moving. Like it's a vicious cycle. The more you don't move, the more you stay static and sedentary. And then the more you feel the bad effects of that. The more you push yourself to move, doesn't matter what you're eating. You get yourself to move, you automatically feel better. Like it gives you a boost of energy, even though we feel like we need energy to go work out and move, but it's the other way around. When you go work out and move, then you're going to get energy. So don't let this whole, I need animal protein and I need to go and have a protein shake after my workout. I need to have a certain number of grams and before, like, says who? Like they just sort of came up with these random things. And definitely, nobody needs a protein shake. Nobody needs protein powders. These are completely synthetic, full of sugar. I can't, if I could think of the amount of things, adjectives that I want to call protein powders, I can't think of enough. Complete waste of everything. They ruin the livers, they ruin your body doesn't synthesize them. If you want to add protein, like if you want to add protein powder to your smoothie or something, then go and add an actual protein. Like people will go and add pea protein powder, right? Pea protein or brown rice powder. Okay, well, brown rice is not really a protein to start with. Peas are, you do get protein from peas. So why are you going to buy a bag of dried out powdered peas that have sugar and might have soy and might have all these other chemicals added to them, when all you need to do is go add half a cup of fresh peas to your smoothie? I mean, you have to use your common sense here also, right? Like, don't forget that this whole supplements and powders and potions and everything is an industry, and they want you to go out and buy these things, and they make you feel like you can't live without these things, and you have to have these things to lose weight or to succeed at the gym or to blah, 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 blah. You don't. You feel like you want to add some protein to your smoothie in the morning? Add half an avocado. It doesn't get better in terms of natural protein than half an avocado, or full avocado if you want, or the actual peas, or a handful of spinach. The spinach is all protein and iron and everything. So don't let all the crazy marketing and all the, you have to do this, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Remember this, right? You only need to do the essentials that we are born with, which is to eat and drink the foods that work with our bodies. We do not have to take any supplements, any superfoods, even essential. We don't have to do any of that. Stick to the basics. And when and if you feel you want to add something, go with the most natural option that you have.
It's very freeing.
Exactly.
Very freeing. It's very freeing.
Exactly. It's very freeing, right? It's so free. And then when you get to that point where you let go of all the chatter and all the noise and all the marketing around you, and you just stick with the basics, and you really understand how your body works, and you understand that when you get a runny nose or a cough or a headache or what's called flu, this is just your body detoxing. There's a whole other level of freedom because you lose the fear of illness completely. So nothing will faze you. You won't be afraid of your body, healing, showing you healing symptoms. You're not going to be afraid of other people showing healing symptoms. If you start to feel something going off in your body, like what Rebecca wrote, I love what she wrote when she had her mammogram. She's like, she had a split second where she panicked, but then she remembered that she can participate in the outcome. So, God forbid anything happens, you get to participate in the process and the outcome. But that's a whole other level of freedom when you let go of that fear eventually. And it's just complete freedom. Complete freedom. And I can't explain it to you. Literally something you have to just experience for yourself. The freedom of not being afraid of illness, not being afraid of getting sick, not being afraid of others being sick, not, the freedom of not feeling the pressure to have to take all the things that everybody's taking, to have to, do things to yourself just because it seems like everybody's saying you need to do. And you just sort of just sit back and say, do I need this? Probably not. Do I want this? That's a different story. Getting to do what you want is all about having the freedom to choose without any of the pressure of the marketing and the mainstream medicine and conventional medicine and the messages that you're just broken. And here's what you have to do to fix yourself. The 1,000,001 things you have to do to fix yourself. You don't have to do any of it at all. Sandra, go ahead.
I have two questions. One is it okay to switch, like when we're doing the 9 days program? Can we do it like two, like not 3, 3, 3, just 2, 4, 3, whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can play with that. Okay.
There's your flexibility. Yes, you can do that.
And when we decide, for example, to have a pizza or like something.
Yeah.
After that, so how do you restart again? How do you get into the program again?
So you're not getting into a program anymore. This is
Not
your
a program, I mean like the 9 days like routine.
this is your baseline, right? The way you're eating now, this is your baseline. This is what
Yeah.
it's just how you keep living, right? It's your new normal. So every once in a while, are you gonna go out? Are you gonna have something? You have it, you come right back.
To what? That's my
To
question.
whatever it is you were just doing the meal before.
Okay.
You don't, it's not like, oh my God, I have to restart. You just come back. Come back
Okay.
straight to your baseline. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, my question, like, because I didn't know, like, if you have to, like go, like slowly and ease it, like, okay.
You right now, that's it. You have all put yourselves on the healing path. You are healing your bodies. We've turned that switch on where the body is healing and the body is clearing. So if it so happens, you go and have a pizza, you go and have a burger, whatever it is, it happens. It's not the end of the world. You have it, you enjoy it. No guilt, because your body will process these foods very differently when you feel guilt while eating them versus if you just simply enjoy the moment. So no guilt associated with it, whatever, no shame, no, oh my God, I was so bad, I had a pizza, oh my God, what do I do? None of that. You enjoy it. You wake up the next day, you keep going.
And so how long do you wait? You said 2 weeks to experiment with different kind of foods to really make sure that you know what causes the effects. And same, okay.
Because it typically takes anywhere between 10 minutes and 3 days to see the effect of something. So you might not know. So you might eat something today and feel perfectly fine, but in 3 days get bloated. In 3 days, get constipated. And you won't know if you've introduced something else tomorrow. If it's a result of what you ate tomorrow or the thing that you had today, that in 3 days gave you the symptom.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hang on. Rania, can we snack on green beans? No, it's a very food, especially beans are really, really hard to break down. Really hard to break down. All of these things, whenever you eat any of these, especially the legumes and beans, they need to be soaked overnight. Soak them in some lemon juice or some apple cider vinegar. You need to take them like 24 hours is even better, because to get rid of that phytic acid that's in them, phytic acid, we call that an anti-nutrient. So if you're eating something that is technically full of nutrients, but it also has something that's called phytic acid, which is an anti-nutrient. So when you consume it, it's going to interfere with the way your body absorbs nutrients from other foods. And it's not a healing food. It's not going to, if you have the symptoms that you came into this program with, any chronic symptom, that's not what's going to heal you, is to snack on that. What about the sushi? Is it allowed? Sushi is, okay, so sushi is what? Sushi is rice and it's soy sauce. And if it's raw, then it carries the risk of bacteria anywhere. And if it's all the funny rolls and mixes, then you're talking about something that's fried. Maybe it's got mayonnaise in it. So no, this is not clean eating at all. Sushi goes under the category of pizza and burgers and I don't like labeling food. It's not, they're not very optimally healthy foods. Yeah, it's not under clean eating. Sana, quinoa goes under grains? Yes, it is. For some people, especially when your digestion is already compromised, your body can react to quinoa, even though we call it a pseudo grain because it's kind of a protein at the same time. But if you are, compromised in your digestive system is weak, if you're constipated, if you still have symptoms, quinoa is still a grain. Yes. So again, it's not healing. Can I start adding chia seeds to morning smoothie? Yes, you can. Do that without adding any. So I think, Sana, aren't you the one who asked about animal protein? Yes. So if you're going to do animal protein, don't also do chia seeds on the same day. Choose one or the other to add. I would say chia seeds, I would wait 1 week. They're light. Make sure they don't give you any symptoms and then go in and add your animal protein. No, here, I prefer lentils and hummus and kushari. As I fast most of the year, is this okay? During your fasting, Noher, do fruits and vegetables, not all of these grains. Because an overload of these grains, and if you fast most of the year, then this is most of the time, right? It's not like occasionally you're going to have these things. So these become problematic when you start consuming them every single day. And you're going to see all your symptoms come back, because if you're consuming something most of the time that's not healing, you're going to see everything reverse. So while you're fasting, your best option is to go with fruits and vegetables, right? Go and consider how you've been on the fruits and vegetables now. What happens when we fast, any type of fasting, is our brain goes into the deprivation mode. So even though you know, because you've done it, that you can survive on just fruits and vegetables, for some reason, when we think about fasting, you think, because I'm not allowed to have animal protein, how will I survive? So I need to have my substitute. But remind yourself that you know right now that you have already done this without lentils and beans and all of that. So do not make them the bulk. Do not make them your staple every single day. You will undo everything that you're doing. Focus on fruits and vegetables, because you can do that for a very long time. When you want to have the hummus and all of that, half a cup. I mean, my mom is Coptic Christian. I know what happens in the fasting period when we go to eat at my mom's house and she's fasting. There's nothing but every single kind of bean and grain and legume and everything, right? And she eats like that the whole time. And I try to convince there's not a vegetable in sight. Like maybe she makes bitingen metli, right? And then she gets really unwell, and then her colon hurts, and then it's a big mess. So, and it's not half a cup, right? It's like a cup of this and a cup of this, and then all the bread. So this is, I mean, you want to fast track reversing all of your symptoms. That's how you do it. So this is like the same way that I'm going to teach people how to do it differently in Ramadan, because in Ramadan, everybody thinks you have to have the mahshi and the macarona and the lahma and the desserts, and you have to have fool at suhoor time, and you have to have the yogurt, otherwise you're going to starve. So the same way people have to be reprogrammed with Ramadan, I sincerely believe people have to be reprogrammed during this fast as well, because living with this amount of lentils and beans, whether you do it for 2 weeks or the full 45 days, over and over and over the whole year, this is going to weaken your thyroid. This is going to irritate the colon. This is going to irritate your entire digestive system. The next time you do this, Noher, here's your next challenge, right? Fruits and vegetables, do the 9 days, do the hybrid, do the clean eating, where the recipes are just like a little bit of lentils in the salad or a little bit of chickpeas in the salad. Do not make them your main courses if you want to stay symptom-free. Hiba, I love eggplant, but it's not in any of the recipes. Is it less than other? No, it's not. Here's the thing. It's literally impossible to create a plan that has every single fruit and vegetable, right? Every single fruit and vegetable is great for you. The only reason we limit the potatoes or just remove them is because, I mean, you're not going to go and overeat eggplant if we put eggplant in the plan, but you will go and overeat potatoes. But yes, by all means, any vegetable that you're not seeing in the plan can be added in, because every single vegetable is healing. Every single fruit, whether you see it in the plan or not, is healing, and add it in. Great, thanks. You're welcome, Noher. You can do it. You can do it. You're doing it now. Pretend you're fasting now, right? Pretend you're fasting now. Are you eating all the lentils and the beans and the grains? No. It's just the way your brain is going to try and play tricks on you when you're like forced, like well, there's, you know, you can't have animal protein, so automatically the deprivation switch kicks in. Anybody else have questions for me? Okay, so our next class will be February 11th. It will be emotional eating next week. And for the rest of the time that we don't, because you'll have weeks and weeks and weeks without a daily class, even when we resume the classes, it'll only be one class a week. I want you to keep yourself in this momentum. Go back and restart the classes if you've been here every single time. Every single time you go back and rewatch, you will catch something you missed the first time around. Obviously, if you've missed classes, go back and watch the ones that you've missed. Keep yourself in the energy of healing. I am still with you in the group. Like we're not going anywhere. Just our communication is just going to shift a little bit. Still with you in the group. I'm still there. I'm still available to answer all of your questions. What I would recommend you do in terms of the supplements and beauty products and all of that is don't get lazy with it. Okay, don't get lazy with it. We have 2 months left together. Go and do your research about where you want to buy your supplements and send me the photos of the list of ingredients so that you can have that ready. Send me the photos of your beauty products. Start to see which beauty products you want to be switching in. Start to introduce yourself to the essential oil to see which ones are working for you and which ones are not. What you don't want to happen is you don't want to, just because we don't have this daily commitment together, is to start to sort of stop communicating, right? I'm still there in the group. You can still message every day on the group. You can still email me if you need to, and you want to still keep making yourself visible to me. Do not disappear because we've stopped having our Zoom sessions. The Zoom sessions are ending just because I don't have anything else to teach you, really. I have a few more key points when it comes to emotional eating and mindful eating. And I told you yesterday why I'm spreading those out. But right now you have the most important talking points of holistic healing that you need. And I can guarantee you that you're not an expert on all of them yet. So take this time to go back and, this is where the repetition comes in, right? Learn, relearn. Maybe there's some things you still need to unlearn. Maybe there's still some things that you haven't quite grasped yet. Maybe you still have 1,000,001 questions after watching these, and you need to be able to come in and do that in the group during our time together. All right. Sally, go again.
Sorry again. I just wanted to ask you about the vitamins I got since last year. I never used them, like the spirulina and the...
Oh, so you've got the right brand. So you can go ahead and see which one. Right. So you already have the right brand because you've done this. You've done the program, right. So
I got liquid B12, the zinc, the spirulina, and the magnesium and the B complex.
Okay, so go ahead and start with the magnesium.
Okay.
Start with that, and let's see how you're feeling in a couple of weeks on the magnesium. And you can also, since you have it, it's not going to harm. You can put the spirulina. Is the spirulina powder or tablets?
I do tablets.
Okay, you can start taking the spirulina also, since you already have it. But the other ones I wouldn't necessarily go for yet, unless we absolutely need them. Start with your magnesium only.
Okay, but I've been taking the Adapto B complex.
Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. If you need
it.
Sorry?
I continue with it?
So you haven't stopped it during the 9 days?
I started, I stopped it, but I started I don't know why I started before yesterday. I got confused, Zahar.
All right. It's okay. Stick with the magnesium only. Let's do one at a time and see how your body reacts to having one deficiency, because everybody's just deficient in magnesium. Everybody is. Let's see how the body reacts to that. And then if you feel like you need to add something else, you have them there and you have the right brand, so you don't need to worry, then you can add something else in.
It's really very different. I'm enjoying this phase, Dana. You can't get it from one time.
No.
I mean, I did a lot of effort last year. I was very dedicated, and all my friends telling me, why are you on it again? You're always on vegetables and fruits, and
Yes.
It's very different. It's the really what I needed, and it's making a shift, Like now I can be more creative. I'm enjoying it actually. And then the pains this time, I want to tell you today, my joint pains are gone.
Amazing.
Yeah. All my joint pains are gone. So
Amazing.
thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Dan.
Oh, you should be so proud. You should be so proud of yourself. I mean, I hold the space for you all, but I mean, at the end of the day, I like dish out the instructions, right? Do this, do this, do this. And it's up to you, right? You're the one who gets to reap all the rewards of your hard work. You're the one who you're taking back your power. So that's amazing. And to your point, yes, everybody comes in and gets something different from this program. Everybody, none of you are getting the same thing. None of you are having the same experience, even though you think, you've definitely gone through the suffering of, not having your coffee and not having your foods and all of that. But at the end of the day, everybody gets a slightly different experience of it. And because it requires repetition, when you come in and do it again, then you get a slightly different experience and you get what you missed the first time or what you weren't focused on the first time. So it's really important just to also keep your mind open to that. That's why when I say just at least go back and rewatch all the sessions again. At the most basic level, you will have a different experience, especially now that, you're not starting at the beginning and where you're apprehensive and where you're overwhelmed and where you're not feeling well and you're going through the detox symptoms. At the most basic level, we remove that. So you're going to be rewatching with a completely elevated physical, you've elevated your physical wellness, and your mental space and your consciousness has also been elevated. So do allow yourself to experience it again now that you are quite literally a different person than who you were 3 weeks ago. All right. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies. Any last questions today? Wonderful. I am not available this weekend. Not that any of you need me. You've got it completely all, under control. You know exactly what you're doing. I will be back in the group on Sunday and we'll just be doing what we've been doing. Post your questions. I'll be posting in the group. And then the Sunday after that is our emotional eating class. Please check under events in the group for the schedule for the last 5 calls. And if you haven't been watching replays, they are available under guides, also in the Facebook group. And every single day's replay has also been posted in the next day's email. So you have 2 places to find your replays. All right.
Dana, for the coffees, can we start to, no? When?
You need at least 4 weeks. So you have 1 more week to go, ladies, without coffee for at least you've made 28 days to 30 days caffeine free. And we can talk about that when we do the emotional eating class.
Thank you.
All right. Amazing. Have a wonderful weekend, ladies. And I will see you all in the group next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.